Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome back to my channel. Great to be back guys. We've had a long weekend and just got back home and I'm so excited and can't wait to start making videos again. So here we are. Great to be back guys, great. If this is your first time, a warm welcome to the channel, and it's always nice to see new faces and new subscribers. So please hit that subscribe and yeah, feel free to comment and to yeah, join in all the things we do here. We normally just chat about farming simulator and map making and all the things around that, you know. Great. So yes, guys, what are we doing today? We're having a look at farmlands. Just a quick look. We are currently busy doing the map conversion series 3 on that, because the first two wasn't so very much in detail. I've decided to make a full series on step by step how to convert the FS19 map to FS22. So we've done the first episode. We're going to carry on the next video with that. But this video specifically, if you're interested in farmlands, yeah, you've come to the right place. So let's have a look at the farmlands, how farmlands work now in FS22. It's a tiny bit different than FS19, but we're going to definitely get to that in a bit. Let's just first talk about farmlands a bit. What is farmlands? Well, farmlands basically is in your game. If you go into your map, you press escape, you go to the map and you click on the farmland or the lands button. Now it's called lands, not farmland anymore. You just click on the lands and then you can click on different pieces of land to purchase. Now those pieces of land is actually owned by the in-game computer players. So that gives you different missions to do for them, and you can actually buy the land from them. So it's actually your neighbors and your other guys farming in the area. That is what the farmlands are set up for. So it's not a good idea to have too little farmlands, because then you're not going to have enough missions to do. So you want to have a few farmlands if you intend to play the game normally, you know. So yeah, with that being said, let's have a quick look at where the farmlands is and how it works. In the map, you've got 3 places now in Farming Simulator 22 where farmlands appear. Outside of the game, I'm talking on the editing side of things. Inside the game, only one place, and that's on your menu, obviously. But now we want to work with farmlands, and to work with it, to change it and to edit it, you need to be out of the game, obviously, and into your map first. So your map is the first place where you'll discover farmlands. And if you go into the terrain editing window, you open window, go to terrain editing, it will open this section, and go drop down right to the foliage painting. Foliage layer painting, sorry, a little bit lower. You go to info layer painting is the one you want, and it's that little blue icon here on top, the blue pen. So the blue pen gives you info layer, and the info layers is all different kind of things like your collisions and as well as your farmlands. So if you click on farmlands here by the info layer, you'll see there's all the other masks that you can edit with the blue pen there on top, the info layer painting tool. So we are interested in farmlands tonight, and if you click on the lands button, it will show you all the lands that is set up in your I3D. Now these lands are not in the XML, they are specified in the I3D. We will talk about that just now. So you've got the map here where farmlands is. If you click here on the blue pen, it will actually show you all the different colors. Each different color represents a farmland. So if I go and make my brush small, not that big, I can actually select a farmland by pressing Control and R, and it will make that piece of farmland white. And on this farmland here at the bottom, it will tell you which farmland it is. So that is farmland 38, and the one next to it, Control R, it's farmland 37, and this one is Control R, that one is 39. So that is the different farmlands that's set up currently on this map. So if you don't have farmlands set up, it's a good thing, or a good idea to blank out the whole map first. Let us do that just to give you an example. I'm not going to save my map, so whatever changes I do here doesn't really matter. So to do that, you will zoom out So you can see your whole map like that. And then you go here on top again to your radius, make that 1200 for a 2 times map, not 12,000. Press enter and go here to square on your brush type, and then go into your, we want to do farmland. So you go to your blue pen and select farmland 1 on your blue pen. So this is now, guys, if you don't have farmland set up yet. So click on farmland 1 and just click once with the left button, and it will make the whole map farmland 1. So now there's no other farmlands painted. And then what you'll do is you will come closer into the map this time. And another tip, guys, with farmlands, do not do a Control Z to undo. Never undo on farmlands. That's one tip I can give you. It will cause you problems and headaches. So what you will do now is, now that we know that the whole map is farmlands 1, you can rename your XML farmland 1 as unused, or whatever you want to call it, temp or whatever. It's, have it as the part of farmlands that you don't want to use, like your roads and that. So you leave your roads and your train, these train tracks, you leave that as farmland 1. So we'll paint in the rest now. So now we're going to go to farmland 2, for instance. I'm just giving an example. Select the blue pen, come down to our brush, make it round again, because I like working with round brushes. Go higher, and then you will paint now. You now decide, I want this area here with these 3 fields, I want as a purchasable piece of property for your map. And then you paint in farmland 2 there, for instance. Guys, in the background we've got some jolly guys singing. We've got a holiday today. It's Human Rights Day here by us, so there's a lot of stuff going on. People are joyful and happy, and all very excited in our country today. It's been a long weekend, so yes, here we go. So what you'll do then is just paint the area that you want to mark as farmland 2 now with the white, and then you'll just go to another one, farmland 3, and you'll decide, for instance, you want this area here to be farmland 3, and then I'm just doing it roughly, guys. You'll obviously now zoom in and come close and make it nice, make it very beautiful, and don't miss out all the stuff like I do here. And then, but you get the picture. So now you've got farmland 2 this side, farmland 3, and farmland 1 is the stuff that will eventually be left behind, all the stuff that you won't have selected. Now that is very important, guys, is that you have the whole map selected as in some pixel form, selected as part of farmland, because otherwise you get an error and you have enormous problems in game if you don't have every pixel on the map selected as some part of some farmland, you know. So there you go. If we now look at our farmlands, you'll see that we've painted there, and I can go Control R on this one, that is farmland 1, Control R on that one, farmland 3, and farmland 2. Alright, so you will go now and paint all your areas, all your different pieces of farmland that can be buyable on your map. And just once you've done everything that you want, you now go to your XML, is the second one to go to. So you go to your map directory. Now if you don't have a farmland XML anywhere in your map, if you can't find it in your map, it means that your map hasn't been set up for farmland yet. It's been on the default farmlands, which is part of the default game. Now to see where your farmlands is, you can open your map XML. That will be your first tip there, to open the map XML and find the farmlands. There has to be a farmland, otherwise your map won't open. It will crash. It will start the map in the game, and then whoop, as moment is starts loading, it will just crash, close the game. And that's most of the time it's a farmland that hasn't been selected or properly set up, causing that problem. Anyway, so you click here and you look. The dollar data means this is the original farmland from. It means that your farmland is running off the in-game farmland, or your map at least. So if your farmland is not in your map directory, all you need to do is go to map Alpine, this directory, and copy that farmlands.xml. In my case, it is exactly like that. I don't have a farmland. So what I'm going to do is go into the Farming Simulator 22 directory, and we're going to go to data. We're going to go maps and map Alpine, and we're going to find the farmlands for that. It is under F farmlands. There it is. Control C, copy that back into our map. Can't remember which is mine now. I think it's this one, mod stemp map. Yeah. All right, and then I'm just going to drop it here in its original place where the I3D is, and there it is, farmlands.xml. So, but now I need to change my map XML to go into my map directory. Now, in order to do that, I just delete the dollar data, and it will work from your map folder, and then from my map folder it's maps, map Alpine, farmland. So let's just see if that is correct. It is test map, that's my map folder, and then it is maps, map Alpine, and then the farmland should be here, and it is. There it is. So this is now my farmlands. Now I can save my map XML because I'm finished with that now. Save it, and then I can go to my farmland. Now in here, there's a few things that you immediately need to change. Is change your density map file name. You don't want this one to go into your in-game one. So you want to point this file, the GRLE file, to your map file if it's not already pointed. So the same draw by me. I'm just going to remove the dollar data. So all you need to do is find the info layer farmlands.grle in your map and make sure that the directory pointing to that is correct. And once again, it works from your map folder. So wherever your map folder is. So mine is test map, and then it's maps, map Alpine, and I think it's under data, and you'll find the GRLE will be in here. Density, what was it? Density something. It's density, info layer farmlands. So it will be info layer farmlands. Info layer farmlands GRLE. So that is my GRLE there. So very important. If that is in the wrong place, you will not have the right the right farmlands for it. And this is your farmlands file, guys. That one that you are painting in the editor, this layer that you are painting here, that is the GRLE you're working with. All right. So just keep that in mind, and point that to yours if it's not already pointing there. Now, I have now painted 1, 2, and 3. I see this XML does not have a 3, so I'm going to have to add a farm ID there, or change this one to 3 if that's the case. And then I will, if I have only got the 3 built in here, let me just have a look now. Have I only got 3? It's control. It's 1, 2, and 3. If I only have 3 in there, you need to delete the rest, guys. Don't leave them in there. Just select them all right to the bottom and delete them like so. And then that's your 3 farmlands if you only have 3. Otherwise, if you have 10, you paint all 10 into the map and delete the rest from the XML. Okay. And then the next thing to make sure of is that this XML of yours correspond with your I3D file, because your in Farming Simulator 22 they've added the farmlands in the I3D as well. I actually never checked. I can't remember, but I'm sure, I'm 100% sure that it's not in the FS19 map I3D. So here we go. You open with any text editor. I use Notepad++. Just wait for it to open. The map I3D. It should open now. There it is. And now what's going to happen, you're going to go Control F and just type in farmland like so, and hit enter, and it will take you to the farmlands. You go next. That's our GRLE. And just make sure that this one also points to your farmlands. All right. If this is pointing to anything else than your GRLE, then just change the directory on that. Go next, and then this is your farmlands here. So here you'll do the same. If you only have 3, you will select them and delete the rest. Only the farmlands. You delete only the farmlands, like so. And then delete them and save your I3D and save your farmlands, and everything will be well with your farmlands, guys. So that's just a whole mouthful of stuff. And the biggest tip I can give you is do not undo when you paint. If you paint, guys, and you make a mistake, let's just go in close again, like so. I'll go close in this time. So now I'm painting here, Control R to select this white. Just going to make it a bit smaller. I'm painting here, oops, and my mouse slips and I don't want to go over the road. So do not go and undo this. You can't, it's not good to undo it. So what you will do is you will select the farmland next to it. In this case, there isn't a farmland. So whatever is next to it, I'm just going to select number 4 now, because we haven't had 4. So the farm on this side, you will come and, for instance, say that was now the farmland next to it. But you understand what I'm saying, man, guys. I'm sure you are. So there's number 3, Control R on this one again. So now I'm painting, and whoops, I go in there. Don't undo it. Control R rather on that side, and take that one and reverse your work, or just repaint over it. Like there, I've gone over in this one again. So Control R here, and then just do that like that. You see? So there you go, guys. That's the biggest tip I can give you. And then once you've done all of that, save your farmlands, and also, just for the good measure, do a script map and create ground collision map. Do that, like if you've done any changes to terrain and whatever, do a new ground collision map and then do a save after that. So map save after that, and you will obviously save the map, but first do a ground collision map and then save your map, and all should be well, guys. If you follow that instructions with the map I3D, working with the correct amount of farmlands, and also your farmlands.xml pointing to the right spot, not only here, the GRL, but also in your map XML, pointing to the right farmlands.xml directory, and then the right amount of farmlands here. Everything should be well, guys. Great, guys. And another thing, if you look at your farmlands, the farm that you set as your default farm, in other words, when you start the game in new farmer mode, that piece of land that you get as the farm, the actual farm where you start on, you have to take that farmland, whichever one it is that you select to paint with, and add this default farm property equals true piece of code. You have to add that to that. In this case, farmland 43, in my map, farmland 43 is selected as the default farmland. So just remember that you have to put that in there. And if you have more than one piece of land selected as the startup land that you get when you start the game, then obviously each one of those you will just put default farm property equals true. And if you don't have that in your XML, it will mean that you won't start with any farmland in your game if you start with the first difficulty level, which is what is that? Yeah, I think it's new farmer mode. Now the other two, you start without farmland, and that is what this means. It won't start you with any, if you select any of the other difficulty modes to start with. I hope it makes sense, guys. So just remember to do that. And then this section here, show on farmland screen equals false. You can also use that to hide pieces of farmland. Like for instance, that farmlands 1 that I said you must make the select as the one that you don't use. You can put this show farmland screen equals false onto that one, and it will not appear on the Farmlands. In other words, if you click on it, it won't be selectable or buyable, you know. So that's also a handy piece of text that or script that you can or code that you can add to the Farmland description, or make it work differently. Good. And then obviously the price per actor, you can change that. Num channels you leave, don't change that, but price per actor you can change. So if you want your Farmlands to be a bit cheaper, you can make it cheaper there on that thing there, and then save your XML, and Bob's your uncle, all should be well. Well, guys, I hope it's been very insightful to me. It has been a big pleasure. I appreciate you guys very much, and thank you for all your comments and your questions. I enjoy helping where I can and where I know what to do, and I enjoy making these videos for you. I hope it's been a good source of information is what I want to say. Great, man. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. For my supporters, thank you so much. For the guys on Patreon, on PayPal, you guys are awesome. And then also thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.